up, Opinion Nation? Come on in and hit the like button. We won't be here long. Come on in,
Are you or someone you know experiencing sudden obsession with fictional characters from the hit show Love and Marriage Huntsville? You may be suffering from melody derangement syndrome, or MDS. MDS affects hundreds of fans worldwide, causing compulsive behaviors such as rage tweeting, binge watching YouTube videos, and prying into the personal lives of TV characters. Don't let MDS control your life. Talk to your doctor today about the symptoms of melody derangement syndrome and find out how you can regain control. Consult your physician before starting any treatment. Side effects may include improved social interactions, increased productivity, and a healthier relationship with reality. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, they rolling hard too. They slanging real good, real good.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta stop.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
what is up, Opinion Nation? Come on in, hit that like button. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hit the like button as you come in. Hit the like button as you all come in. Thank you so much for dropping by in this impromptu thing. Hold on one second. I'm trying to grab a little something. Uh-oh, that is not what I wanted. How y'all doing this evening? Good. That's good. Y'all ready for Christmas? I am. Been watching Christmas movies, packing, wrapping presents, hanging out with my seeds, doing all of that. Yeah, y'all come on in and hit the like button. Before we get started, I want to shout out my new YouTube series called Love in Rocket City. It is sort of kind of a spinoff of Love and Marriage Huntsville. What I'm showing up here is the thumbnail for the very first episode. It's called Behind the Scenes, y'all. Make sure that y'all go and check it out. It is under videos. On this page, I have a playlist. It's called Love in Rocket City. Make sure that y'all check it out. It's really good. I'm about to drop chapter 3 probably in a few hours, if not in a few hours, maybe tomorrow for the membership. This is a soft launch of my show, folks. Y'all seem like y'all like it. Trent, our messy YouTuber blogger, who is part of the series, I know he be getting in the comments, fooling around with y'all. And he is hysterical. He's really taken on a life of his own. I know folks have gone over there and followed Trent's page. He got his own YouTube, y'all. So stay tuned for him to start going over there, get messier and messier. And so one thing that I wanted to tell y'all about Love in Rocket City is that, like, there's a special way that y'all need to watch this. Y'all will start to see it kind of manifest as it gets a little bit more sophisticated. But the show itself is only about 10 minutes per chapter, right? But you're going to get all of the inside scoop and the tea from Trent. So when y'all go around there to Love and Rocket City YouTube page and you answer the polls and you interact with that kind of stuff after the episodes drop, if you ask Trent questions, he kind of drops a little bit of breadcrumbs to give y'all ideas of what's to come and give you more ideas of who these characters actually are and what they really own. Because as y'all know, he is the messy tuber. He know everything. We don't know how he know, but he know it. And if you interact with him on the Love and Rocket City YouTube page, he is going to drop some nuggets. So some of y'all have went around there and took the poll and asked Trent questions or said little things to him. And he's giving y'all a little bit of like idea of where, you know, stuff is headed. So of course he ain't going to give y'all too much, but he giving y'all just enough to keep you coming back. So just like on regular Love and Marriage Huntsville, we know a lot of the actual story progresses on social media. It's the same for Love and Rocket City. So right now we only have one messy YouTube blogger on the series. Y'all told me that he needs somebody to fight with. So y'all say he need another YouTuber to fight with. So you know I love taking ideas from y'all and incorporating it into the stuff that I do. So we'll see how that plays out. But as of right now, you go ahead, you watch the chapters. When you have your theories and all that, there will be some sort of a poll or some sort of engagement that Trent will do. And when you all kind of engage with him and ask him questions, or if y'all say his name or you at him, he usually gonna respond if y'all at Trent, because he messy like that. And what you calling his name for? Okay. So anyway, if y'all have not watched Love and Rocket City, go into my videos and y'all can start watching now. You can follow the YouTube page. Thank you, Symmetry, for putting it in the chat. So welcome to the live. I told y'all the other day that I wasn't fucking with these folks, and I'm still not. But y'all know me. Sometimes something piques my curiosity, right? And then I can't stop thinking about it. So to be like 100%, I may or may not have any receipts that that Marcel did anything, or that these folks are telling the truth or telling a lie. But here's what I do have. I do have some curious kind of questions about the non-timeline that Miss Mama gave during her reveal yesterday. And y'all being the Love and Marriage Huntsville sleuth that you are, right? We might be able to put some stuff together. So that's what I want to do. I have a little bit of a lead. I know y'all can fill in the blanks like y'all always do. I'm not really taking back nothing that I said yesterday, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why I have slightly different energy than I had yesterday is only because it was such a freaking joke that like I can't, like, who can even actually really be mad at how much of an absolute fail that the whole thing was. But everybody has opined on that. Everybody gave their opinions about it. Everybody went live, they hit their button. Okay, I want to do something a little bit different. I'm trying to figure out where are the absolute lies to what that thing got up there was talking about yesterday. Where are the inconsistencies and where are the question marks? So y'all go ahead and hit the like button. Y'all know how I'm gonna come. I'm gonna always come to the table with, okay, let's try some analyzing. We're not doing no Sally, Dick, and Jane. Oh, I believe it because she said it. It must be true. Now I got questions. I have questions, and of course, y'all got a lot of answers. Okay. So yeah, we got over here in the Opinion Nation. Y'all are the muffin Love and Marriage Huntsville historians, like I am, right? And so all the historians and the street team, we put our heads together. We might be able to. I mean, we don't. Okay, first let's put it out there. Like, don't nobody believe the shit. Okay, let's just say that this is just for fun. So I don't believe shit this lady got to say for a number of reasons. I was talking to my daughter about, obviously not about this, but about a non-related but related kind of situation of like in school. Remember, people teach you the teachers, hopefully y'all teachers taught y'all this, but they taught you about credible sources. Remember, that was a whole big thing in school when you can't just take anything that's true. You got to figure out like the source that you got it from. Remember when folks was telling you, don't use Wikipedia, right? Because it's not a reliable source. Because why? Why is Wikipedia not a reliable source, y'all? Some of y'all might have forgot this. Okay. Wikipedia ain't reliable. You can't be quoting Wikipedia and shit in your term papers and whatnot. Why? Because Wikipedia, first of all, it was enough that it was just on the internet back in the day. They told y'all don't trust shit that you find online. Go to the library and read a book, right? Okay. But that we beyond that. Why did the professors and the teachers tell y'all to leave that damn Wikipedia alone? Because the entire nature of Wikipedia is that the public adds the shit on there. right? Like you can be like, oh, I got something I want to put on Wikipedia. And then the public goes through and edits it. So anybody can go and edit Wikipedia. But at some point in time, I don't know what's going on with public education or whatever, but nobody cares anymore about credible sources. Okay. Hey, Jill. So aside from credible sources, it's a few things. One is what's the source of information, right? Okay. So where'd you get it from and how credible is it? Okay. So what makes the source credible? Okay. We didn't forget all about that. There are, and y'all know I love literacy and I got kids, right? So I'll be paying attention to the stuff they bring home. And a lot of the stuff connects because I'm a literature buff. Okay. What are the three purposes of reading? I'm going to see if y'all know. Who in here can tell me the three reasons why we read? There are three reasons. They teach you this in school. What are the three reasons that we read? What's the three purposes? I give 5 cheers, hoorays to the first person who can tell me what are the three purposes of reading. What is the author's? Thank you, Davita. To be informed. That's one. There's 2 more. Author's purpose. Y'all got kids. Y'all should know this. What's the author's purpose? The purpose is to either inform or what? Come on, beautiful people. You can read to increase vocabulary, yes, but there are 3 specific author's purpose: to be informed. Thank you, Tanya. To entertain. There's one more. To inform, to be entertained. There's one more. Starts with a P. There's 3 purposes that authors have when they write something. There's 3. Instruct is the same as inform. So it's to inform, entertain. I'm going to give y'all a hint. The acronym PI is what they teach kids. PI, author's purpose. P-I-E. The I is inform, the E is entertain. What you think the P stand for? Pleasure is the same as entertainment. P, y'all give up? I don't think y'all give up yet. Somebody got to know what the P stand for. Come on, y'all. There's only 3 reasons why we engage with text. To learn something. Okay. Purpose. But no. No. Persuade. Thank you, CB. It is to persuade. Author's purpose, P-I-E, PI. To persuade, to inform, or to entertain. So when you understand the purpose of why anybody is bringing information to you, that's why I'm real big when people tell me stuff, like I'm real big on trying to figure out what their intent is, right? So the intention is to either persuade you. So if you're watching a documentary, right? The purpose of a documentary is to persuade you. It don't mean you're supposed to believe everything it says, because the intention of the folks who created was to get you to think what they think. So chances are they're not going to tell you anything from the conflicting side, because their purpose is to persuade you to go along with what they saying. So if you watch a documentary about anything, figure out what are they trying to persuade you to do or to think. And if the goal is to persuade you, you can expect for them to tell you some compelling things and to, lay some shit out. It's going to make a whole lot of sense to you. But here's the key piece. They're not going to tell you any conflicting information, because why would they do that when they're trying to persuade you to think their way? And a lot of folks get caught up in that. They think, oh, well, they gave a really compelling argument. That must mean that it's true, until you hear the other side, until you hear a documentary about that exact same thing from the opposite point of view. Now you got something to think about, because it's like, oh, okay, well, they made some good points, but damn, now I heard this, and that kind of counteracted some of the stuff that I heard, because now I don't know what to think. Or now that I heard both sides, I'm persuaded in this way over another because of the information. Stick with it. I'm teaching tonight. It's been a while. It's been a while. So it's really clear to me when somebody putting some shit in front of me where I'm supposed to be persuaded. You want to persuade me to think what you think. And that's when my spidey senses light up. And that's when I get the Blues Clues hat going on and my Inspector Gadget flares up in my soul and I become hella suspicious. Soon as I know somebody trying to persuade me of some shit, I get hella suspicious. Hella suspicious. More suspicious than I would be otherwise if you were just talking to me and we were just having a regular conversation. But when I know you want me to think something, oh, I'm going to be just as contrary as possible. Because I'm not that easily convinced of things. Like I'm not asleep. You're not going to be able to just rock me to sleep because some shit sound real nice and it sound like it could make sense. And if all things equal, it's a plausible story. It needs to be more than plausible. It needs to actually be accurate. Thank you, Lala. So you have persuasion, and then of course you have information. So typically we watch the news to be informed, or we'll read an informational text, right? Like you're gonna read the newspaper. Child, let's pretend like the news and newspapers are accurate these days. They really trying to entertain and persuade at this point. They ain't informed, but that's a whole other thing, right? But we typically engage with nonfiction shit to learn something, right? If I want to learn about history, I'm going to seek out some nonfiction. I'm not going to look at fiction to learn about history. If I look at a documentary, I can, but I have to have the caveat that they put some shit in there because they want me to believe a certain thing about history. It may or may not be the full story. That I got to know, right? Okay. So when I listened to the lady and her story yesterday, a few of these teachings from elementary school, really, y'all, they really start teaching this stuff in like 2nd and 3rd grade. So there's a few things that I'm going to be looking at. One, is it a credible source, right? What would one have to gain or lose by the narrative or the message that they're bringing, right? And people are really, really quick to be like, would nobody lie about that? Who would embarrass themselves and do something like this? Who would do that? As if we live in a world where everybody is just 100%, like all humans just really do what's right. Is we all on the honor code and everybody got high morals and they have values and people just really operate off of what's in everybody else's best interest. There's no self-serving. There's none of that. I guess because, we don't do shame and we don't judge people no more. We forgot that it's just like people are crazy. That's still a thing. Like people are still liars. They're still thieves. They're still murderers. They're still child abusers. They're still pedophiles. There's all still the most worst people on earth walk amongst us every day. But for some reason, we say things like, who would lie about that? Lots of people would. It's amazing how we forget that we know liars when you hear some shit that you want to be true. Right? So then you got your own personal bias that helps you, that informs whether or not you're going to believe some shit too. Right? So we all basically trying to confirm our own experiences, no matter what the fuck we engage in. We see ourselves and our experience in that, and we want it affirmed. So I want to see things that are going to affirm what I think and what I feel about the world. So I can look at somebody. It don't matter if credibility doesn't matter, because to me, I'm more interested in my viewpoints being affirmed. And if you actually just really operate off of just like pure bias in that way, like God bless you. God bless you. Like that. God bless you. I'm just saying. I can see you getting into some real slippery slope situations with that type of a mindset. You need to know the environments that you're in, and you need to know your players. This is how folks end up effed up in the game and interacting with folks who end up doing you dirty or doing you harm, because you want to paint everybody with this brush of everybody is basically good. And why would they do that to me? People don't have reasons sometimes to doing the shit that they do. We forget that sociopaths exist, right? We forget that psychopaths exist. We as much as we call folks narcissists, we act like narcissists don't exist when you listen to stories, right, from people. You say, well, why would they lie? You forget that people be narcissists. People have mental health disorders. People don't have their basics together. They don't know how they're going to get their bills paid. And they don't really give a fuck about nobody else's feelings because they feel like nobody ever gave a F about their feelings, because if they did, they wouldn't be in the position in the world that they're in. So they don't have any respect for other people. They don't. They just want to find out where they're going to get their next meal from. And that's why the most dangerous person that you can ever deal with is somebody who don't have nothing to lose. Folks say that all the time, but then they forget why that's a thing. The most dangerous person is somebody who don't have their basics together. Because think about that. Now I'm preaching. And every time I get to preaching, my husband ends up coming through the door and then hovers and throws off my flow. Think about that. Why is that the case? Really, y'all saved and y'all beautiful people and y'all do everything right. But we ain't talking about y'all. Really think to yourself about somebody who hungry. What's their first priority? If you're not consistently sure of how you're gonna pay your rent, you're not, or even have a place to sleep, you're not consistently sure of how you're gonna eat, you're not consistently sure of how you're gonna get your basic needs met. Who are you most loyal to when you're in that space? Who you most loyal to? Somebody in the chat. I know I ain't talking to an empty room for real. Who are you most loyal to when your basics are in question? This is why it's dangerous to deal with people like that. Or do I got to tell y'all a story? Self. Thank you, Davita. God, sure. But a lot of them folks don't believe in God when they get to them very kind of real baseline. I don't know where I'm going to sleep, where I'm going to eat. A lot of them folks done lost faith in God already. But self, because it's called self-preservation. Right? Self-preservation. That's that very basic fight or flight. That's called survival. When you have folks who are in survival mode, they are dangerous to be around because they're trying to survive. They're trying to survive. So they don't care about your feelings or what you got going on. Consider this. Really think about that. Why wouldn't they knock you over your head and take your purse if they really trying to eat? Why wouldn't they rob your house if they really at their wits' end and don't have all day long, but they're trying to survive? And sure, this is an extreme example of that, y'all. But I need y'all to also understand that same that same thing applies across the board. So you can possibly have a roof over your head. You could possibly basically know kind of where your meal is coming from, but there's still an idea of your basics not being met when some people are just not where they want to be. And they're envious of the spaces that other folks are at that they feel like they should be at. Right? That's also not having your basics together. Those are the most dangerous people to be around because they don't have anything to lose. So they don't have the luxury of prioritizing anybody else's outcomes but theirs. They don't have the luxury of that. Right? So like, for instance, here's another quick story for y'all. Y'all know I like Tupac, right? There's this interview of Pac that I absolutely love where he's telling his story, basically talking about civil rights, right? And he's saying that, back in the 50s and the 60s, he talked about like how we were asking like as if it were a song. He's like, he said it's like being outside starving, right? Starving, like not having anything, but a banquet going on in a building and you standing outside of the building, it's a banquet going on in there. And they got all kind of hams and roast beef and string beans and stuff. And they just throwing it all around the room and they just having a good old time. Right? But y'all hungry outside, but you can see through the window that they got all the food and they just throwing it around and it's all over. If they ain't eat, they throwing it in the trash. They just mishandle it, but you got starving people outside and they can see you. In the beginning, they're going to knock on the door with a song like, we are hungry, please let us in, please. And you don't answer it. The next iteration of that, you know, it's a little bit more beat, like, we hungry, let us in, let us in. Like he did it in a song. He said, after a while, it's going to be, we picking the locks, we coming in blasting because we sick of asking. Right now, I'm going to take it. That's people who don't have their basics together. They'll take it. They don't care about the people who in there and how hard them people work for what it is that they have to be able to throw it around. They don't give a shit about how hard and what them folks had to go through to get to a place that they're in the positions that they have. I'm hungry. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to get to a certain place. Fuck what you talking about. That's why being around people who don't have their basics together are dangerous people, because they will sacrifice you so that they know for a fact that they can eat. That's also why Pac said that he had to move out of the neighborhood he was in because he knew people would rob him. I can't stay here. So that's me laying the groundwork for y'all of why it's important to understand the intention of people when they coming around with stories to tell. I'm not saying that they found that lady in a trailer park. Y'all said that. I'm not saying that they found that lady at a Walmart or all the other places that y'all said they picked her up at. That's what it was given to me. That's what it looked like to me. And so for that point alone, the credibility meter, if we started off with 100, I'm already looking at the situation and listening to her talk and hearing her say, I don't have nothing. I don't have anything. I don't have anything to lose. That comment alone for me took the trust meter, credibility meter, all the way down to probably like a 25%. Because you're telling me that you don't have no standards or no boundaries, so you'll do and say anything. So now you're going to have to really, your burden of proof just went that much higher because you're not credible. So short of some sort of like actual like groundbreaking, indisputable, objective truth or proof, there's not really much I'm going to be able to take from you. Y'all got to it ain't about that. I be telling y'all this all the time. It ain't stuff that's not about right or wrong. And this is why we get messed up as a society too, because we want to get into this. Well, I don't want to judge. I don't want to. So judging means when you tell somebody that they worthy or not worthy. To me, I can assess the situation and look at a thing. And because I'm supposed to use the skills that I was taught of inference, prediction, comprehension, we taught those things to keep ourselves safe and to avoid trouble, right? Of all kinds. I'm supposed to use my brain and take in threats and be able to process that so that I can avoid situations that are going to cause me harm. That's not called being judgmental. That's called being able to take in information and properly assess it to be able to figure out what level of risk I'm up against. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point that I'm making. It's not always about, well, I don't want to judge. Judge is when you say, you know what? I don't think that you're worthy of God's love. Someone should have flushed you. Like that's a judgment of saying that you don't deserve, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I can take in information and I can make an assessment based off the information that I have and based off of who's giving me the information. When you come out of your mouth and say you don't have nothing to lose, why would I not believe you? When I listen to the things that are coming out of your mouth, you have to know that that makes you less credible. That's it. So that's for me. So then I was like, okay, well, let me just figure out some stuff. So Wanda came on here and Wanda said something that was very interesting to me that got me to thinking. So this is where y'all come in, right? And Tanya, don't get excited. Don't hold your breath. Okay. But this is where it got interesting, right? Because I immediately just wrote her off because for me, it's like, girl, please. One, it was coached. That was another credible because typically in an interview, you want to let the person talk. This, if that were like an interrogation from the cops, they couldn't use that as a confession. because it was coerced. She could very easily say she was under duress and was coerced during her confessional, and they throw that out of court because Sister Bun was talking more than anybody else. I don't know exactly what that lady had to say because she was fed every other line. She was reminded of his name. She was reminded of where they were, the name of the business. She was reminded of this. They reminded her of that. But then also they claimed that she contacted them and thank you for telling your story. Like, I don't know who's the whole thing. To me, Barbara Walters would not be proud. So Sister Bun needs to stay over there with her little online clothing store. I think that might be more her speed. You're not a journalist. Shout out to Portia. But here's the question. So Wanda got up there, right? And Wanda was like, okay, well, before I get to Wanda, here's the question for y'all. LEMH Sleuth. LEMH Sleuth. Okay. I heard, and granted, I only watched it through other people's pages. So I could have missed something and I could have misunderstood. But here's one of the questions that I need y'all to fix for me. The facts were all over the place and it was hard to get a timeline, right? But here's my question for y'all. Did she or did she not say last year? I heard her make references to just last year. Last year. Did anybody else hear that but me? I could be wrong. Did anybody else hear them say that this was recent and it was last year? Because I heard so many things that were contradictory. But anybody hear that this was last year? Anybody? Or was it just me? Somebody say yes or no. They were talking about when. Did anybody hear her slip and say last year? Okay. Okay. If anybody can stomach it, I can't. But I heard them make reference to last year because as I was listening, I'm like, well, when this allegedly happened? Okay. So here's what Wanda said that sparked my interest. Wanda said they talking about Monaco. Okay. So Monaco Theater. So just a little bit of background. Martell makes it seem as though he was working at the little local AMC. He, meaning Martell, was working, sweeping up popcorn out the aisles, okay, of the movie theater. And how tragic, how dreadful, right? That's how he tells the story. Now, when I did Marceau's character analysis, and y'all can go back and look at this, he commented and he gave a clarification of what exactly he was doing at the movie theater and what else he had going on. My phone is there right now, so I can't read off exactly the whole thing that Marceau wrote. They also made it seem like it was when. Yes. So hold that symmetry. So they were talking about him being at the movie theater, and Martell always tells the story about, oh, we found you at the movie theater and you went, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So when I did the character analysis, Marceau came in, gave me some feedback, and he specifically talked about the movie theater. He said that the Monaco Theater was like a tourist or kind of like a really big deal for the neighborhood for Huntsville, and that he was the general manager of the theater. And while he was the general manager of the theater, he had like 10 properties. At least, because he said that it was 5. He had 5 something and 10 something else. So he had 10 properties, 5 to 10. Let's just say 5 to 10 properties, because I don't remember the exact wording. I don't have it written down on my phone instead. At the time that he was at the Monaco, he was the general manager. He wasn't just at the ticket booth. Okay, he wasn't just sweeping up popcorn, but he also had 5 to 10 properties at the time. Okay, Wanda said that he's been gone from Monaco for 12 years. Okay. So I went and was like, well, if that was 12 years ago and this lady was 31, that would have made her what, 19, 18. That would have made old girl 18 years old when all this stuff went down. because 31 minus 12 is 18. I used a calculator, y'all. So she would have been 18 years old when this happened, which is very curious for a lot of reasons. She was telling this story as if she was a full-grown adult. But if this was 12 years ago, mama would have been 18. Okay. So let's just set that aside. So when Wanda was telling the story, she said the girl would have been 20. She actually would have been 18 years old if this was happening at the time that Marceau was at the Monaco. Okay. This is where I'm talking about the proof. So this is where I need y'all help. So I went on to LinkedIn and found that Marceau actually worked at the Monaco Theater between 2007 and 2015. So he left, and I still have it up now. He left in October of 2015. Okay. So that couldn't have been 12 years ago. That makes that at the most, at a minimum, 9 years. Okay. So that would have been a minimum of 9 years ago. Y'all with it? Okay. So I'm like, okay. So in order for me to find out, just as a high level, in order for me to find out whether or not it's even plausible from a timeline, I don't believe it, but we just playing with it at this point. In order to figure out like if the timeline even made any sense and if they thought this through at all, this is what I'm thinking about. So 9 years ago would have been 2015, right? Y'all check my math. Okay. So thank you, Davita. Yes. So Marceau left the Monaco Theater in 2015. I don't know if Maurice and Kimmy got married in 2018 because they were filming the show in 2019. So somebody go check and find out when Kimmy and Maurice actually got married, because I don't think that it was in 2018, Demetria. I think it was after that. It had to be 2019. Because they got married on the show. And I don't think that they put that wedding on for the show, but they filmed the show in 2019. I could be wrong on that, but that's why I'm here with y'all. Okay. That girl was a young hot thing. I believe they done found the girl page. Okay. So here's the other thing. This is the other question that I need to ask y'all. So the Monaco thing, Martell kept making a really big deal about this. Okay. He was working at the Monaco. Okay. So he was working at the Monaco. This had to be at a minimum of 2015. And 9 years ago, the lady, then she would have been what, 22. Okay. All right. So old girl would have been 22 at the what? At least 22. No, at most 22 for 2015. He left in October 2015 at Monaco. So he was at the Monaco. So it couldn't have been after. Here's my question for y'all. And I see y'all saying 2018. That makes sense. Here's my question for you. When did Maurice open the physical location of Credit One? When was the physical location of Credit One opened? So their actual profile says that that business, Credit One, was incorporated in 2012. However, they don't have annual reports until 2018. And when I talked to ChatGPT, they said that Credit One was opened in 2018. So here's another quick question for y'all. Does anybody other than me remember when Maurice and Kimmy and them were renovating Credit One? Because there are a lot of business in there, y'all. Let's just be really clear. If you Google that address, there's a bunch of businesses that are in that building. There are a bunch of businesses in there. A lot of businesses are in that building. And Credit One is now a nonprofit organization and is no longer in that building. Now his law firm and Kimmy's Place is in there. Do y'all remember when on the show they were renovating that building? They showed that on the show. I'm just checking in with y'all to see if anybody else remember that. I did not go back and watch it. I ain't got time to do it. I figure I'll come ask y'all. Does anybody other than me remember them renovating Credit One, the building? I remember when they finally got in there and Maurice had his first meeting. I believe he was in there talking to Martell about his credit. Nobody else in the chat, nobody who's listening remembers when they were renovating the building Credit One before it opened. Demetria says she remembers it. Essence Tender said that she remembers them. It was either 2019, baby. It wasn't 2029 now. What you talking about, Davita? She said it was 2019 or 2029. Like, eh. Okay. So Credit One was an incorporated business in 2012, but it was not a physical location until 2018. So okay, I'm just going back. You said 2019 or 2020 that we watched them renovating Credit One and we watched them putting up walls. Am I wrong? Y'all, I may be misremembering this. This is why I'm asking y'all. I might be misremembering this. Tanya, I'm not talking about when the organization was incorporated or when they started paperwork. There are lots of folks who incorporate LLCs and not LLCs, LLCs before they open a physical location. So you have to also get get paperwork on your physical location. Before you open a physical location, you have to, what do you call it? I just had it up, but you have to, you got to get paperwork for that. You have to get a license for opening up. Okay, this is what y'all have to remember. So when you go to the business entities page, it's going to have an address there, but they're only giving you one view of that. Once you change the registered agent, they don't typically show you all of the numerous registered agent addresses that you have. They update it with the most recent one. So if you go on there, you're going to see the most recent one. You're going to see the date that it was incorporated, and you're going to see an address. It doesn't mean that was the address that it had when it opened. We're not talking about all the locations. We're talking about the one on 3125 University Drive. That's the one that I looked into. There's no way to prove that. There's no way to prove it. You are absolutely right, Woodmakers. There is no way to prove it. I'm just noticing holes. I had a question mark behind the thing. Did they tell the truth? Probably. I don't believe them. But I'm asking y'all. Do y'all remember them renovating it? So here's what so y'all saying that, yeah, you remember it being renovated on a show. You're saying that had to occur in either 2019 and 2020. Okay. But then y'all are also, some of our sympathizer friends, which is fine, are also saying, well, they're claiming that the building was vacant from 2015 from at least, because again, Marceau left the Monaco in 2015. I went to the Better Business Bureau and it doesn't have that business listed there. And 2015 was when Marceau left. So again, this whole affair had to happen before 2015. It had to happen before 2015 in order for him to have been working at the Monaco. So what y'all got to prove, just for fun, because I don't believe shit the lady said anyway, is that he purchased that building, that location, before 2015. In order for them to get in there and be doing all of this stuff they talking about, it had to be before 2015. So what y'all saying is that that building stayed vacant in whatever for 3 years, and they waited until COVID to get it renovated. No, but it matters, wood makers, because if they kept putting the pressure on this whole monocle thing, then they're giving us a time frame. Because everybody was asking about this time frame. It had to be no later than 2015 because he was separated from that business, from the Monocle Theater, in October of 2015. So all of the stuff that she's talking about, and she said it went on for a year. So that means 2014. So there was 2014, 2015, possibly, that she said that all this stuff went on. And so that takes us to 2014 at Capital One. Capital One, child. Credit One. So I'm saying, if y'all want to fact check mamas just for some shit to do, that's different than I believe it because I hate the Scots. If y'all want to fact check mamas, my question is, y'all find what job did he have after the Monaco? He went to, he was the cost analyst at BCF Solutions. And I don't know what BCF Solutions is, but he was a cost analyst. And let's also keep something in mind too. Marceau, I believe, graduated college in 2002. So to say that, you worked at a theater after college, like, okay, if you were a general manager 5 years after you got out of college, I think that you're doing pretty good. But that's just me. Whatever. So I just need to know, y'all, if any of y'all, because I've already went and pulled up all the stuff from the Secretary of State. I ain't paid for nothing, y'all. I just did a little search. Okay. Secretary of State. But Tanya, here's the thing. So I'm trying to think of why would I buy a building that large and hold it for 3 years and not make any money off of it? Because you then if you're not ready to lease those spaces, why would you buy a building and hold off on the chance that there may be a pandemic and you can get some extra money to do renovations? Like, that's not a good business move, especially if you've already had the business for several years, because the business itself has been around for 17 years. So the business itself, Credit One itself, has been around since 2007. There were multiple Vegas trips, Neek. There were multiple Vegas trips. And Coleslaw was at one of them. This one, she said she wasn't there. So we can't even go by when was the trip. We don't know which trip they talking about, because the trip we all knew about, she said she was there taking the pictures. But yesterday, she wasn't nowhere around. And then that's weird for the time frame, because I thought they had just started dating when they all went that time. Like, those are just the holes. Y'all know I'd rather do it like this. I'd rather figure out, okay, based on what you're saying, how likely is it that your story is true? Like, what are all the other things that need to line up for, like, the basic stuff that we're talking about? We know that this affair thing had to have ended in 2015. Because it's just, oh, he was at the Monaco. He had no money. He was cheap. He was cheap. And then here's the other thing that y'all got to remember. She said that then she Googled him and found out that he was married. So I wonder, back in 2015, if you Google Marceau Scott, when is he Googleable? What would make Marceau Scott Googleable in 2014, 2015? I looked him up. So then I was wondering, when he was being funny acting, I knew something was going on. So then I Googled him. But if we're talking about in 2015, at the most, at the most. In 2015, you Googled him. And he was Googled. Marcel Scott, fat and broke, as y'all tell it, was Googleable in 2014, 2015, to where that's how she found out. That's how she found out that he was married. Does that make sense to anybody? I'm just saying, critical thinkers, it's a Sunday, y'all done got all the sensational, whatever, and we, was mad and all the things. But now let's, just kind of like, take a step back. Davida say his IG go back to 2020. I don't even know if Instagram was popping like that in 2014, 2015. Was it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The lady Chantel, if goes back to 2015, I don't know. You said her IG goes back to 2015. Okay. Does his? No, he was not Mildred. No. Remember, he was only 5 years out of college when he started at Monaco. Marceau worked in 2000. So he graduated from college in 2004, like I suspected. Then he went and got his master's of business analytics from 2015 to 2017 at the University of Alabama. This is all on LinkedIn. So he went back to school 2015, 2017. That sounds like, okay, so he got his master's in 1 year. Okay. So in 2005, the year he got out of college, he was working at Target as an executive team lead. That's his first job out of college. He was there for 1 year and 11 months. And then that's when he became the director of operations at Monaco Pictures. That was his second job out of college. And he stayed there for 8 years. Yeah, right. That's all I'm saying. Like some of the stuff, like the more that they talked and the way they went back and forth, I'm like, I don't get it. So if he's there from 2007 to 2015, I'm just trying to figure out how she was then able to Google him in 2015 and his name came up on Google. So yeah, you can't find, I already looked at that. So you can't find out when they last purchased the property because they leased the property. So it's the leasing information for the units within there that's given the information on the commercial sites, unless you're going to pay to find out something else. But there's no information on exactly when the building was purchased. That's what I was looking for. When did Maurice purchase the building? We can't see from public records when Maurice actually purchased the building. We can just see that they're leasing places in there now and that Kimmy is the leasing agent. Let's also be reminded that Kimmy's office is in Credit One, and Kimmy was also the person who was part of that building. So this idea that all that stuff was happening, she has long said that it was not true. Right? It's supposed to be they were the original Diddy. And my thing is, folks like to say all kinds of things and then they just get lazy with the receipts. My thing also is, if he's just known about people and he just got people in his phone and all the receipts are in his phone, why would they wait for this woman to contact them? As Ariane said at the end, thank you for contacting us. Why would they have to go with this lady and not fact check her? Didn't he work at a tech company when he met Tisha? It's not on his LinkedIn. I'm only going off of what is on the LinkedIn. So for me, it's a few things. For me, it's the whole, the story itself is just dumb. Right? Like, oh, I wanted him to be my man. Oh, I didn't even really like him. I thought he was a joke. Oh, I really was confused as to why he wasn't taking me nowhere. Then it was, oh, I didn't want to go nowhere and I wasn't after the money. Then it was, we went here and we went there. And then it was like, no, we only went to Credit One. Then it was, he flew me out and he did this and he did that. Then it was, he wouldn't pay for my stuff at Ross. So then, y'all, I was looking at it. I was like, well, what is this whole thing about Ross? I'm like, is Ross a big thing in Vegas? So I looked that up, and their first big place, they got two really big Rosses apparently in Vegas, and the first one opened in 2009. So the second big one, it says open in 2024. So they must have went to the one in 2009, if this is to be plausible. So that's still within the Monaco employment time frame. But I'm just trying to figure out what Marceau was doing that was Googleable in that way. How long was he on Facebook? Did she Google him and found his Facebook? Listen, we just doing this for fun, mood makers, because we know for a fact that Tisha and Marceau and Maurice and them can pull receipts of where they've been and what's going on. Here's the other thing that she said that is questionable for me. Okay. Here's the other thing. Well, it was really Ariane talking. So she says, well, did he send you your flight information? And she was like, no, the airline sent it to me. Right, because he was trying to stay undetectable. That's how the married men do, girl. They're going to try to stay undetectable when they fly you out. Okay, bird brain. If I go into my southwest.com or go someplace and I pay with my credit card, I can't put your address, your billing address in there, dummy. The billing address still got a match. So even if I say I'm buying this ticket for my little sister, I'm going to put her information in there. In order to fly, fool, if you buy a ticket for somebody else, you got to put all of their information in it. I got to say, Bobblehead Bimbo Brown of Birmingham. Her email address is bigheadbirminghambimbobrown@gmail. And then they gonna say it about the airline send it. No, ho, he put allegedly your email address in there for you to get the flight information directly. That's still gonna show up on his credit card. That's still gonna go to his inbox because he purchased the ticket. Whether he put his name on it or yours, he purchased it with his credit card. Ariane, he doing that to avoid detection, because if he sent you the email, then his wife would know, and he loved protecting her. You sound like the dummy you are. You sound like you still 18 years old. You literally have learned nothing. You still sound exactly like somebody who fresh out of high school. And then you get mad when people say that you dumb. Everybody who know me know I'm smart. Like, anytime somebody tell y'all everybody who know me, blank, 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 they lying. He did it to avoid detection. That sounds like fandom to me. That's all 100% fandom. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. So then you got there and had to pay for your own bag, she said. Remember that, y'all? She said that I had to pay for my bags. And I wanted the money for my bags. Somebody was like, well, how much a Coach bag cost? Because that's all he could have bought you. And I was like, that's funny. But I think she's talking about her checking her bag. So then that makes me think of like, okay, so you spent $200 on checking your bags in for food, right? So then, that got me to thinking, like, what airlines? She told us her information, though. She ain't scared. Which y'all, that her being scared or not scared don't mean anything, because we talking about certain types of people. Not everybody has shame. Like, that's us. That's people you talk to. We talking about the type of people who fight in Walmart and who steal and who strip and do all these other things. You can't put all that morality on these people. They don't live by the same creed that you live by. So we can't give her that jacket. She obviously got on a platform with two people who she just reached out to and told them that's the first time she had a D over here and a D over there. Put some D's on it. Like, she did that. That shows the type of person we're talking about. She can definitely look up the receipt from the airlines. Absolutely. If she flew, I was about to say something else, y'all. Now I lost my train of thought. It'll come back. She just didn't want, he didn't want, oh, the bags. Okay. So now let's get into the bags. So I'm thinking like, well, what airline they flew on that don't at least give you a carry-on and one check-in? Right? Can y'all tell me which airlines don't give you at least one carry-on and a check-in? Anybody? Anybody? When did they stop giving, like, which airlines? Because I think even Spirit let you bring a bag, child. And somebody that they didn't took out of Birmingham, like, how many bags? You know, them girls be having a garbage bag. They got a duffel bag, a Nike's duffel bag, and a garbage bag, and then they bought some food, some McDonald's at the airport. Y'all be seeing them. They don't be having no real bags. They don't have luggage. They don't. Y'all can say that I'm being mean or whatever. Y'all know that I'm right. They don't have no damn luggage. Delta, you got to pay for your bags, I thought, but you can carry on. Okay. But they give you a personal item and a carry-on. You get your purse and you have a little backpack. You can go on with that and you can put a bag up in the thing on the flight. To check the bag, sometimes they'll charge you to check. But I'm saying, she sounded like she had more than a carry-on that you just put. You know what? Maybe she only had one big old bag. Because she, you know, if you one of these, she probably just got that one bag and it's just probably too big. And she thought, okay, that's probably what happened. So what was that? It was $50 both ways. She got up there and didn't know. No, that's not even true though, because you can check up, y'all. Hold on. I've been traveling forever. You get at least one check bag. Y'all say Frontier is the only one that don't let you check a bag for free? When did Delta start that? And I don't know the answer to this, y'all. It's not a quiz. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Hold on. I'm gonna ask, because you know ChatGPT just scanned the internet. Okay. Which airlines are, what is it? Do not allow you to check bags for free? Budget airlines. Several budget airlines and some traditional do not include free check bags. Here are some of the major airlines that do not provide it: Spirit, Frontier, Allegiant, Ryanair, EasyJet, Wizz Air, child, JetBlue, and then you got the major three. Y'all got American, United, Delta. They have basic economy fares that don't include free check bags. You can purchase a check bag for an additional fee. Okay, when did this start? Because that wasn't always the case. 2008. So y'all, American Airlines was the first major carrier to introduce a $15 fee. Okay, so after 2010, that's when they started getting on y'all ass about these bags. Okay, that don't tell us nothing. All right, so we didn't find out nothing there. Southwest, it does. You at least get one. I thought it was free up to so many pounds. Right, that's what I thought too, Mildred. But you got to remember, we don't know nothing about how old girl travel. In my mind, when I see them type of girls at the airport, they don't be having real bags. But she must have came down there with all of her, you know, I don't know, child. I mean, she was going to Vegas. How many clothes does she even bring down there? Ooh, Steph said not all airlines even fly out of that area. Out of Birmingham? Interesting. Which airlines fly from Birmingham to Vegas? You know, you can go anywhere with a layover though. United. Oh, that was easy. Wait, several airlines operate flights from Birmingham, BHM to Harry Reid. Here's some options. Oh, they gave me, please no flight availability, blah, blah, blah. Oh, y'all right. So what y'all saying is some of them cheapo airlines may not even fly from Birmingham. So I'm seeing y'all Southwest, United, American. Spirit. No, they got Spirit on here too. Ciao. Spirit, Delta, Southwest, and American. That's who we got. So with Spirit on here, we know they're going to make you buy your bags over there on Spirit. Most people fly to Atlanta and then switch. She took her spend a night bag. Yeah, the fees were different. See, I feel like they started getting on these folks about these bags and all this trouble and stuff during the pandemic, because that's when all them, you know, they didn't have a lot of them budget airlines and stuff 10 years ago. All this stuff really done kicked up, you know, after a while. And all them folks who should be on the Greyhound. Look, I'm going to sound classist a whole lot, and I don't care. Y'all sue me, okay? A lot of them folks, they ain't got no business in the air that should be on a Greyhound bus. They ruined it for all of us when Frontier and them came out on the scene and gave them all these bus ticket as flights. Now they on there fighting and smoking marijuana, getting kicked off the flight. I'll see them on the body cam videos, y'all. It's the worst shit to watch, but it's kind of funny. But it's the worst thing in the world to watch body cam videos of folks cutting up on the airplane, child. And it's always Spirit and Frontier, because they cater to a certain group. And that's the group that this lady is in. I'm telling y'all, that's what she looked like. She dresses like them. That's the outfit. That's the whole get up that them type of folks wear. And even down to the makeup that was like 3 shades too light. I'm like, girl, you are giving a certain kind of Casper the Ghost. Tease. Everything is much. Yep. Because now they're trying to reverse it. They're going to nickel and dime all them folks down to, they got to turn around and go back home. So yeah, y'all. So all I'm saying is, here are the things. First of all, we just don't believe her just because she's not credible. But since Martell had to lay this monocle thing down here so thick, the monocle thing and the credit one thing got to overlap. If not, if it don't fit, you must have quit. Now, we didn't come to no answers because we don't know when Maurice bought credit one. However, I'm saying I don't understand why he would buy a property that large, leave it vacant for 3 years. That don't make no sense, especially when you're talking about people who are in real estate and in the business of flipping houses and stuff. They don't want that stuff sitting longer than a month, because then you got to pay that mortgage. Y'all watch any of them HGTV shows? They were trying to get that sucker renovated ASAP, because that cuts in profit if they have to pay that mortgage for too long. They need that stuff sold and owned out of their hands so they can flip it. That's why it's called flip. It ain't called buy and hold it till later on. It's called you flip it. Flip it. That means real quick. You get in there, you fix, you do what, and then you get somebody in there and you move the phone. Now, with that big ass commercial property that he bought, that's even worse. That's even worse. Who's gonna buy that? And I don't know what it bought for, because you can't see any purchases on it because they posting all the lease and stuff. And they probably sick of y'all bothering them about this goddamn credit one in the first place, because this ain't the first time that they tried to say that this was a freak off location. But whatever. I don't know why any astute business person would go and buy a property that big with the intention of leasing out the spaces and not be prepared to at least immediately lease out some of the space in order to recoup your money. Girl, I ain't heard nothing from Carlos. I told y'all I can't keep up with this stuff. I'm going to say one more thing before I let y'all go. The girl don't look bad a couple years ago. I think they all smashed. Girl, a couple years ago? Listen, this is allegedly at least 9 years ago. And she don't even have no children. So what does that tell you? That adds even more to the lack of credibility. Because girl, what have you been through? That's a hard 31, baby. That's a hard 31. Yeah, you got to pay all of that. So that's what I'm saying. That so, but and so, okay. Well, if you saying just last year she was a baddie, she can't be credible if she looks like that this year. If she looked like that today, something aged you and stretched you, and you don't have no children, and you look like that and sound like that today, but you were a baddie like 2 years ago, you've had a very rough 2 years. And I'm definitely not believing nothing. You'll say and do anything for money. I thought that T was just saying that to be funny. She was sitting there saying how she want to have kids one day and she want to have a husband one day. Chris C, that's probably what happened. Shut up, Chris C. Jesus Christ. That last part, gee. Chris, you come in here. I'm going to email Jaguar Wright and ask her what the heck, Marcy. Please do. That's who we need. Don't. Actually don't. Because I got one more thing that I need to say about this before I go. She been through the fire. Through the fire. She been through the fire and the wire. Yeah, child. She been through the fire and the wire. I'm saying if you look good just a month ago and now you look like you slipped under a truck and was rolled hard and thrown away wet, and now you have resulted to getting up on television screen and telling people where you didn't had to be, and you laughed and said it was fun because 10 years ago she would have been 21 years old. So we talking about a 22-year-old girl who was doing all of this. See, people was listening to it as if this is something that happened today and looking at it like, oh, you grown. No, you gotta take this thing back at least 9 years. At least 9 years. That means that she would have been 22 when she did all of this. I was wondering, I wanted him to be my man, and I was wondering this, and you was wondering all that at 22. Then I was dancing. So listen to how hard her life was. Listen to this. She was dancing a little bit. She was doing this. She was doing that. She don't even remember who all was there. Then his brother came, and that was fine. It was fun. It was the first time this had happened to me. Mama, you was 22. What do you mean the first time? That wasn't one of the beginning of the first. That already tells you of the type of person that we sitting here dealing with. And I ain't saying that her mama shouldn't love her. I'm telling y'all that you got to consider these things when you determining whether or not somebody is credible before you run off believing folks. Because I'm going to tell you, that's how you get messed up. You then go start swinging for people. Then they got you looking stupid. But had you look close at the situation, either sat it out, didn't comment, been real critical of the whole thing. Like, I don't know. It ain't passing the sniff test for me. Maybe for some people who not as sensible or don't require as much. The moment I know you trying to persuade me, baby, you gonna have to come with it. Because I got all the questions. I don't have no answers, but I got all the questions. A peen in the mouth, and it was the first time, and she didn't get hazard pay. I'm thinking some type of substance was involved. Child, here's the thing too. If mama had gone through all she went through, y'all, in the past 2 years to make her look the way that she does, as opposed to what y'all said she looked on Instagram, she could have made a lick. She could have got more than $200. She asked, she got mad at this clown. Listen to this too, y'all. Critical thinkers. She got mad allegedly at Marcel over $250 and threatened to tell his wife. And then he said, "I'll kill you." And then she said she laughed and thought it was funny, but then she still just left the situation alone. Okay. That was her story. So at this point, this man got a business, multiple businesses, multiple properties. He partying down here to Uncle Luke, pulling in all this money down to Black. He on television, on the Oprah Winfrey Network. He up here collecting awards and whatnots from the NAACP. He down here in Atlanta putting on Black Enterprise expos. He down here feeding the children. They down here building homes for the homeless. He all out here, all in front of the camera, all down to the goddamn production sets. And this lady, you telling me that after all this time, she gonna choose to go along with Martell and Ariane and get nothing? And get nothing for her story? I would have hit him up again, like, yo, you remember when? Because it's been an all call for folks who fooled with you. And remember that 250? Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Mr. Marcel, or whatever your name was, I was 22 and had, I don't remember, but I sort of do. You had a business down. I remember the street university. Yeah, it was on the street university. How you remember the name of the? I don't remember the name of the goddamn street of the apartment building that I lived in college, my sophomore and junior year of college. But you remember from 9 years ago, someplace in Huntsville, Alabama. You remember that? Sure. Okay. Y'all. I can't be bothered with this. It's just so silly. You telling me that that's how you decide to go out after all this time? It's been 7 years, 8 years. 8 years. I got the receipts. Where are them ladies that Martell has known about? Why we get this one? We're the ones that you just know and that y'all talk to on the phone all the time and all of that. There that it really happened with. Why y'all didn't get them? Why y'all just take? I told y'all this is what I'm gonna do. Don't tell Martell and Ariane this, y'all, but I'm gonna slide into their DMs and I'm gonna tell them that I had an affair with Marcel. And I want to see if I get an interview. I want to see if I get an interview. I want to know if I get an interview. So now I can't be bothered. I want to know if I get an interview. What y'all think? Should I do it? I'm going to go undercover. Yeah, they did things together, right? Where they at? We don't know. I'm going undercover. Y'all ain't going to get Chantel to answer no more questions. Listen, Anthony will probably find her. Anthony will find her probably and get some questions answered, y'all. Perhaps. But I'm going to go undercover. Y'all going to get me to 1,000 subs. You understand? And I'm going to go undercover, or I'm going to get somebody. It's going to be Beyond Reality Investigate again. And we going undercover to see if we can get if we can get a phone call with Ariane and tell our story. I'm gonna have ChatGPT write me up a story tonight, and I'm gonna send it down there to Ariane's inbox, and I want to see if she responds to me. Y'all think she gonna respond? Y'all think she gonna respond? And I want to see if I get an interview. And I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna tell my made up story about Marcel, and y'all gonna know it's me. And then we gonna laugh and show how desperate that they really just take anybody who come into the DMs and be like, "Oh, girl, it was me. I just need $225 to keep my lights from being turned off." Yeah, they're gonna respond. Just tell her you are a side chick. Yes, I'm gonna say I heard your call to action. You were looking for women who were looking for a safe space to tell their stories about how they dealt with married men, and it's hard to talk about. It's so hard because, like, I feel like, Marcel, I just feel like, he knew how I felt about him. And, like, I knew he was married, but you know, like I fell for him, and you know, our relationship, like I'm gonna tell you what. So, and I remember it because he had a business over there on University Drive. Because that's all they got to say to be relevant. Like people believe, like, oh, well, she stay at University Drive. She know what the address is, as if we don't have Google. Like that's like top secret information. All you gotta do is watch the damn show. I got so oh my god. Okay, I can come up with all kinds of stuff because I watched the show, and it's gonna sound real credible. And I'm gonna get somebody I know to get up there and do the interview, y'all. But then it's not gonna air because I'm gonna be like, psych, and have wasted their time. I thought Martell was on this particular trip. He's asked as if he's never seen her, yet she was able to provide details. Girl, he stood up for me. He made him pay for my Ross dress. If it wasn't for him, she said that he just told him to pay for her Ross order, but then she also made it seem like he told her to pay. He told him to pay for everything else too. Like if it wasn't for him, I don't know how I would have ate while I was out there in Vegas. Coleslaw. Girl, I believe that because he's a ladies' man. I believe that. Can't nobody tell me nothing about baby. Baby, what'd you say, baby? What, baby? Were you there, baby? Can't nobody tell me nothing about Martell Holt. Okay, I know exactly what, like that excuses it. So you know that you with somebody who is a liar and a cheater. And it's okay because you know that he lies and he cheats and nobody can tell you nothing about him. Girl, that is not a flex. Yes, child. Down to Ross, they say it. Ross. Don't make it sound too intelligent. Damn, Michelle, you're right about that. Damn, I gotta dumb it down. Ooh, that might be hard. Okay, I gotta dumb it down. Let me see. How can I do it? Ugh. I gotta play with that one, Michelle. They gonna clock me. I'm gonna get clocked. Oh, I gotta get somebody else to do it. I'm gonna get clocked. I'm gonna go down. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take me $50 and I'm gonna go down to I ain't gonna play my folks down, my South Side folks down, my Black folks over here in Inglewood. I ain't even gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say none of these low income places in Chicago because they ain't gonna fall for it. Because them people, these solid Chicago folks got integrity. They gonna have a lot of questions. I gotta go somewhere in no disrespect, y'all, but I gotta go somewhere in the boondocks of the South with $100 bill and just pop it. You know, when you like take it and you like pop, 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 like just snap it outside of a Walmart or at a check cashing place and be like, I got $100. I'll make it $2 if I get one of y'all ladies to come, and all you got to do is read this script. That's all you got to do. You don't got to do nothing else. And I sweeten the pot to $225. Who coming? What I got to do? All you got to do is say that you knew him and that you've been to Credit One and that they just had chairs and y'all fooled around together. He got a brother named Maurice. It's going to sound more plausible if you bring him up. Okay. You also, he was married. Whatever you say beyond that, put a little razzle dazzle on it. Okay. It just got to sound, it has to be, what did they say? It's provocative. It has to be provocative. Put a little razzle dazzle on it. That's it. And you'll have your money. And then that's what they're going to go do. And they ain't going to care. Just like that one little baby. Oh, this was terrible. Then I'm going to let y'all go. That one little baby who, this was like 3-4 years ago. They had these white boys had this terrible website. It was like some type of like excessive porn, right? Where it was like very, very just like borderline, like abusive, but they were like, it was like consensual. And they would go and do like the most disgusting things to women for clicks and views on this porn site. They have since taken it down and they paid the girls $1,000 to do it. Y'all can Google this. I don't think you want to, but you could, so you know that I'm not lying to you. there was this terrible porn site, and it was all like excessive hardcore stuff, and like with all types of body fluids and all kinds of things, like absolute sick, disgusting things. I only know about this because it went viral on YouTube like a couple years ago. Black girl goes on there for $1,000. She did it for $1,000. That video went viral, had her face all over the place. Her family disowned her. Family completely disowned her. They were absolutely positively disgusted. She then started going on TikTok trying to explain herself, and folks was like, "No," like people were like feeling sorry for her, like, "Girl, what will make you do something like that?" And she just kept saying like, "Oh, I got paid." And they were like, "But girl, what? Like, what? You let them do that to you for $1,000 and post it?" And she was like, just like defending it, saying that she got paid, just like the same girl who did 101 dudes the other day for OnlyFans. And she planned on doing 1,000 in the new year. OnlyFans. Y'all really be thinking that people got self-respect. That's where everybody be going wrong, thinking that folks got self-respect. They don't have it for whatever reason. And it is really sad, actually. But these grown people, child. If it was kids, I'll fight for them. But these grown fools. I'm creased with real tears. But what y'all saying? Oh, my big sister here. Hey, Satin Baby Doll. Now she met him in ATL when the truck was repoed. What? Baby sis got me weak, sounding all ghetto, not provocative. It has to be provocative. It was recent when they went to Atlanta during Marty's wine event taste. It makes it more interesting. Yes, they gotta let me write the script next time. I'll write a better script, but no, I'm gonna write a script for me because I'm going undercover, y'all. Beyond Reality Investigate. I'm going undercover. I'm going to send my story to Ariane. I want to see if she responds. Okay. And then I'm going to take y'all with me. I'm going to record the whole thing. Then we're going to come back up here and we're going to laugh about it. Yeah, say something. It was lazy. It was like they found her at the gas station right before they filmed it. And Coleslaw was like, I got this bubble skirt with her booty cheeks hanging all off the bottom of the... How old is that girl? Ooh, she a bobblehead. Ooh, poor baby. Poor baby. Poor baby. She gonna learn. Ooh, little young thing. Ooh, she gonna look back on this with such regret. Oh, I feel bad for her 40-year-old self, child. Ooh, Lord, Jesus. Help her, Jesus. Where her people at? Put your booty cheeks away, ma'am. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. She in her late 30s. I don't think, is it late? Child. Her mama probably got the same skirt. You know, some of these folks, their mamas ain't no different than them. Okay, y'all, I'm going undercover. I'm taking you with me. Investigation. We're gonna do a sting operation. And we want to see whether or not they ask us any questions or if it's just enough. We talking about coleslaw. We want to know if it's enough just to say we slept with them. I'm going to find out. Y'all should do it too. Listen, don't let me have all the fun. Any of y'all can have a story about Marcel. Make up your best, most compelling story about how you had an affair with Marcel and reach out to Ariane and Martell and tell their story so that we just flood their inboxes. And then, you know, maybe we can be the next ones on the show. Seriously, let's take it into the members only. Go find Nene at the meat swap. Listen, it's going to be hard to do it out here in Chicago because they can get, I ain't got enough money to pay these people. You know, a lot of them scammers. They can make anonymous money real quick. That's another reason why you can't, like the credibility. It's like, girl, you could do faceless stuff for money. You ain't have to do all this. And it ain't just because she like needed to tell her story either. It ain't even like, oh, I got to get this off my chest. I feel so much better. It's been weighing on me. Like there was literally no reason for her to come and say any of this. Like, what do you gain? It's not like I want justice. It's not like, oh, I had to to tell the story because he did me so wrong. She's like, oh yeah, he said he was gonna kill me, but I thought that was funny, girl. Yeah, I just let him have it. Yep. And then, so what advice would you have for other women like you? Who the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you leave? You shouldn't. Don't look at me crazy. You shouldn't even be in here. Get out. Why my youngest kid? I just said, what the F? I turn around, his eyes bulged open like, oh, you're not even supposed to be over here. Snuck up on me, y'all. See, that's why I can't even be on here talking to y'all. Y'all always catch me in these bad moments. If y'all could have seen his face, it was like, oh, just froze still, eyes bulging open, mouth open, like, oh, what did you say? Kids give me bad luck. Telling you. Martell lies, but I bet all did dirty together. Okay, this is the last thing that I'm going to say. Oh, you can hear his voice? The way he just looked at me, y'all, was like he's never heard anything of that sort before in his life, and he was just so disappointed in me. I did feed him ginger. Thank you. And did. And it wasn't cold either. And it was homemade. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, y'all are so mean and shady. If y'all just listening and y'all don't know, that's an inside joke. But day one, they know why that's funny. Michelle, you are absolutely correct. Chicago folks ain't going for it. These folks out here who would need the money, they are prime scammers. They ain't doing nothing like that. See, these folks got integrity. You got to go down and find folks that ain't got no integrity. So where would you find people like that? That's where you go. If I need to get something done with somebody who don't have no shame, where is the best place to go? With a few dollars, how much money would I need? This is a life skill. Y'all need to know this kind of stuff. Okay? You need to get something done. These are things that y'all should know how to do. The last thing I got to say is this. I clickbaited y'all. Now, I get clickbaited all the time, so I don't feel bad. So boo. And I owe y'all better because I was cussing and mad yesterday, and I needed to take some of that back because it ain't really that serious. It kind of is. But then after I saw this, it was like this whole thing was dumb. But here's what I got to say. I still don't understand why it matters, y'all. Like, I don't quite understand why any of it matters. I don't understand, like, what, okay. If Marcel today came out and was like, they won't for a number of reasons. They got kids and they're not going to sell their family out for this. And these children gotta, they just not willing to do that. And I agree with that approach. I would do the same thing. But what does it change if it did or it didn't? That's what I don't understand. At the end of the day, even let's say that it were true. And yuck, and that's and this is what I want to say. Y'all find y'all anybody who's been married for any length of time and ask them how they made it this far. I'm trying to find something clever to say. Y'all ain't got shit. They're going to tell y'all that it has been a series of trials, tribulations, and making it through, getting on the other side. And every time you have a challenge in your marriage and you find a way to make it through on the other side, your love gets deeper and deeper and deeper and stronger. And there are lots of things that can happen and within the course of a relationship that long that could be deal breakers for some, not for others. I have an actual story of some folks that I know that have something super wild that happened that one of them did. I ain't gonna say no specifics about it. But one person in the marriage did something like super scandalous, right? And they were able to talk about it. The person was able to come clean. They went to therapy. They worked through it. And both of them have both said to me, and I'm around them, that their relationship is stronger than it's ever been. Their relationship is stronger now than it has ever been. I doubt that if one day someone offered them a reality TV show contract, that they would then peel back that scab and put all of that information out for public consumption. I doubt they would do that. Because for them, they've already lived through it, worked through it, gained new understanding about each other, and have made the decision to move forward despite all the things that they've been through. And the agreement is to leave it alone. If you've forgiven somebody for it, if you've worked through it, what benefit is it to your family and to the person you claim to love to rehash that stuff out for the public? It ain't even that either one of y'all got a problem. Y'all chilling. But you're going to bring it up and put it out for folks to consume in the public when you know the only thing they're going to do is tear you down? That does not make any sense. That does not make any sense. There are going to be highs and lows in any marriage, in any kind of relationship, friendships, any type of relationship that you're committed to, that you have been in for the long haul. You cannot tell me that you ain't. Ask your grandparents. Y'all tell me y'all grandparents have been together for 70 years. Mine were before my granddad passed. My grandparents were together over 70 years. I know a little bit. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit. And those be the things that keep them people. Listen, don't get me starting to preaching about this kind of stuff. People are flawed. We are all out here having a human experience and trying to figure out our shit. Ain't nobody perfect. None of us. But that don't mean that we can't have opinions. It don't mean that we can't call stuff out. It don't mean that we can't talk stuff through. You ain't got to be perfect to be able to say something about what somebody else is doing that seems to be inappropriate to you. You got an opinion. You got freedom of speech. You can say, now you ain't got freedom of consequence, but you can say whatever you want. You can be observant. You can do all that. But I'm just saying, y'all, have a little bit of grace and understanding with people, right? Sometimes that we are all in different places and we can't expect everybody to be where we at. And when you looking at other folks' relationships, like, I don't even know what we get out of judging other people's relationships. It ain't your man. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Marceau ain't my man. So why, right? So all of the, he been cheating. Like, okay, so if he were to come out today and be like, y'all been right all along, which he almost should do just to like Chris Fletcher came out with like, I was a cheater. I was a cheater. And if folks have left Chris alone, ain't nobody been trying to figure out who it was with or none of that. They just kind of led with that and they were okay with it. And they older in the game. They got adult kids. They like, hey, shit, it was a thing. That's how we were introduced to them. They left Chris alone. So ain't even an idea that it's happened. It's the fact that y'all just want them to admit it that you're not perfect. Admit that y'all have problems. Admit it. And they saying we do have problems, but that ain't the one we finna talk to y'all about. Why would we tell y'all about that? We know you hate us. Why would we tell you that? Why would I come out and be like, yeah, I got issues with infidelity? Why would I tell somebody who hates me that? Why would I tell somebody who hates me that? And this is the thing, that's the point, exposing them to what end, because if it's not impacting them as a unit, what does it matter? The goal is to break them up. They've made it very clear that that's not going to happen. So what benefit, like, what's your end goal? To embarrass them. They're not embarrassed. They're fireproof. They don't care anymore about what you say. They think you're a joke. So you can continue to bring folks out the swamp waters all day long. You can find a bad bitch who probably ain't lying. At the end of the day, this is their relationship. They can have an open relationship. Real talk. I've seen that. I told y'all this before. I've seen that in friends where you think that something's going on and come to find out they got an agreement. Ain't my business. None of my business. How y'all get down and the type of relationship that y'all got set up ain't none of my business. I'm going to mind my business and leave y'all alone. As long as y'all happy, I'm happy. I couldn't do it. That's judging. That's a judgment to be like, ugh. I ain't gonna be like, ugh. Like, if that's for you, who am I? So all this is about Martell. It ain't about nobody else. And nobody is calling and really truly asking for Marcel to be exposed. Because here's the thing: everything that he would get out of truly being exposed, like if it was like a credible person coming out, right? Like if a real bad, for real, like credible chick came out tomorrow, what would the Scots get that they haven't already gotten? They're gonna get more aha. Y'all remember? Y'all know the bully from The Simpsons? They're gonna keep getting him. They've been had him. Like they're gonna get folks laughing at him on Twitter. Okay. They're gonna get a bunch of mean thumbnails in YouTube stories. Okay. They're gonna get a whole bunch of see there, y'all ain't ish. Okay. How many of these things have we not already seen? Like, so then what y'all waiting to see is Tisha, leave him. So you can be single like you know who. Like that's the only end goal. Like they want to see that lady break up her marriage. And you gotta, at some point, like folks gotta kind of reflect on how sick that is. They got little brown babies that need their mama and their daddy together. And for y'all need to be entertained, right? Because that's all it is. People want to see this for their own entertainment so that they can feel really good and join in someone else's suffering. And I don't know what type of karma you think that brings you. But at the end of the day, like, what difference does it make? I told y'all in my character analysis of Marcel that and he told me that it wasn't true. He, again, go to my character analysis of Marcel. He dropped down in the comments and got me together. He said most of what I said was accurate. I believe that something has happened. It could be in the past. It could be recent. It could be current. It could be any of that. But as a married woman who's been married for almost 20 years, shit happens. Life be lifing. And just like Ice Cube said when he got interviewed by, what's that clown with the hat? The one that be womanizing? What's his name? He was a football player, y'all. Anyway, he interviewed Ice Cube. And he said, Ice Cube, how long you been married? He's like, I've been married for like 32 years. And he's like, how? He was like, because we want to be. That very simple answer, because we want to be. What you mean, how? How can you, Cam, right? How can you, every day you got to look at the same person and every day this and every day that? He was like, but who else in your life are you feeling like that every day? He was like, you don't want to deal with your mama every day. It ain't about that. It's about that she mine and I'm hers and I don't want nobody else with my woman. Like he laid that whole relationship thing out in only a way that a man who's been married for 32 years can. People really, truly have their standard as perfection, which is why folks run in and out of relationships. They want perfect people, even though they imperfect. You're not going to find anybody who's perfect. It does not exist. Marriages and relationships are about give, take. You ain't always going to get it. You ain't going to always have to give it. That is what relationships are about. Y'all think it's supposed to be about being faithful for 30 years. Chances are that's not real life. Chances are people be stepping out, not just even physically, y'all. How many folks be out here cheating emotionally? To me, that's just as bad. Especially since these cell phones came out, these niggas be caking all up on the phone. They done came out with WhatsApp. That's the worst thing in the world. All this vanishing text messages on the Snapchat. And we went and saw Corey Holcomb, y'all. And y'all know Corey Holcomb, a whole fool. He done laid out how men got multiple phones and they be doing this, they be doing that. Like, this is not, This is just the world that we live in. And you got ladies like the one who was talking to Martell and them out here that don't have no morals, don't have no standards, don't have no girdle, don't have no schemes, bad teeth, and they looking at your man. He can have on a ring, he can have on a yarmulke, he can have a stroller with a baby in it, and it's gonna be 3-4 hoes looking around the bread aisle, looking at him in the grocery store. Still, happy men smell different to trifling, wayward women. They got they pheromones, you know. The pheromones be smelling good. And that ring, baby, be shining like a halo. They attracted to happy married men. Y'all old too. Y'all supposed to know this stuff. Y'all supposed to be teaching me this stuff. Right, big sis? Y'all supposed to be teaching me. They are old. They're wise about Martell, and Martell told Mel about them. I don't know if I know what that means. Hey, Sparkle. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to end with that. Like, I don't know why it matters. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, they just going to get an aha and folks going to clown them. But it ain't going to stop their money. It ain't going to stop none of their projects. It ain't going to stop them building their house. It ain't going to stop none of the shit they got going on. They just going to get more hate and ridicule on the internet, which they've been getting for nothing anyway. So, like, at this point, like, seriously, I would be much more interested in Martell and Ariane talking about themselves. Like, that's all they really want to do anyway. Like, y'all could have just turned that little thing on and stepped there and answered the questions that everybody been asking y'all. But no, you only get more. And this is why you go stay. And I'm like, here go a little read. This is a mild little read for Ariane and Martell. Just a mild one. I'm in a good mood, so it ain't going to be too much. That's why y'all look how y'all look. That's why y'all in the situation that you in. You only motivated and inspired behind bullshit. They've been telling Ariane to get her goofy ass up on YouTube for the longest. Girl, stop letting these people make money off you. Stop going live on Instagram. Get you a YouTube. Come up here and talk to people. She had 3-some thousand subscribers. She didn't even have no video. Folks saying, girl, come over here. Get your brand together. Once you get, girl, put something in your head, not on it. With your nursing degree, trying to encourage you to get something done, just like they were trying to encourage Martell. Get your builder's license. Sell your wine. Tell people about it. What happened to the wine? You don't say nothing to them. Where's the website? Boo, boo, boo. Both of them. You got to beg them. Where's your product? Where's your business? Melody been telling him for the longest, you need to get it together. Like, where's your get up and go? I'm out here trying to get the money. You ain't moving fast enough. Where your ambition at? Everybody, Martell, you ain't passed the test? Oh, well, I'm going to study for it. No ambition whatsoever. Then the moment some bullshit come up that you feel like you can monetize off of, then you motivated to hit your button. Now you done got 3 microphones set up and you got a little studio situation. You got the little the little counter height chairs, and you got a whole setup. You don't know how to upload videos yet, but that's okay. It may take 6 hours. You done got up enough ambition to get up here and do that, but you couldn't find the wherewithal and the forethought to do something for your own brand. That's why you're going to keep losing. You can't make this stuff up. That's why they're going to keep laughing at y'all. At the end of the day, them Scotts and everybody else on that show going to continue to have the last laugh. I'm going to tell you, and y'all know I'm Melody's biggest fan. Y'all already know that. My day ones know that, really. I don't support her like the meters do, but that girl gonna make a coin. She might work herself into an early grave by working harder than smarter these days, but mama ain't gonna be broke. She ain't gonna be destitute. She ain't gonna be out here looking like she ain't got nothing figured out. Now that I can say about all of them. They ain't all standing around with their thumbs up their ass trying to figure out how to profit off of this thing while they got it. The Martell and Ariane, on the other hand. But after all this time, they asking for you to be on the show, Ariane. You actually had people like saying, nah, it'll be interesting. Bring her on so Martell can show his real life. We thinking, and I was wrong. I was wrong, meters. She shouldn't be on the, forget about it. I already said he should go. But if he was staying, I said bring her. I lied. I disagree. I'll take that back. I said it and I'm taking it back. Because if what she gonna do is come on and be the new sidekick with Martell to go tearing everybody else's marriages down and we got to relive this thing over again, I'm tapping out. No, thank you. I thought they was gonna come together and we was gonna see. I'm stupid. Y'all right. I'm done. Why would I think that? Why would I think that? Why would I think that they would actually come with like something about what they got going on? That was dumb. I shouldn't have thought that. I was wrong. Shit. Fuck y'all want from me. She obviously just gonna come on and give us a 2019 melody tease, and we don't want it. We do not want it. I thought she was gonna try to be a homemaker or something. All she gonna do is get on there, and we gonna finally see Tisha come out of character and beat her ass, and then that's just gonna be bad for everybody. I want to watch that though. His get up and go done got up and left. She used to claim that she had a YouTube website. Yeah. That's what I walked away with. It was about them, and they were playing in Mel's face with their banter. Melody needs to act as though this never happened. Here's the thing, but here's the thing for Melody that I'm gonna let y'all know. This is what's good for her. She been saying he a low down, dirty, whatever. Sure. Now y'all know they're the same side, they're different sides of the same coin, but we're gonna put that aside. He keeps showing up to be exactly what she says he is, though, and that's tough. So what she has needed, what she been whining and crying for, is for everybody to get rid of him. And what she was missing was that y'all went back and forth so much that they all became numb to y'all's back and forth. And that's why it wasn't no real big thing of like leaving him alone. Like y'all, y'all got friends who be fighting all the time and they get back together, get back together. Ultimately, you learn to just not even engage. Okay, that's been the cast. Her whole thing is, how y'all still friends with him? Don't y'all see he sucks? And they're like, well, I mean, y'all both suck though. Okay. And what she's wanted the whole time is to alienate him and get him away from her so she can stay on the show. Or basically, here's my other thing though. They was text messaging each other on this last episode. I thought that was strange. I thought they couldn't talk to each other. I was puzzled by that last night when he was like, I'm going to tell Melody what's going on. It's like, hold on. You can contact her directly? I thought y'all had to talk through the parenting app. When y'all start texting back and forth, it's like, see, here we go. Here they go with this bullshit. They about to do the team up and the whole thing again. Y'all do it every couple seasons. But I'm happy to see that that's not what Melody was on. But I was surprised to find out that now he gets to text her. When you can talk to her directly, I thought that you got in trouble because she had a do not disturb notice order from the courts and you ain't supposed to be in. And that's how when you text her and was like, why you down at the courthouse, that was some big major violation. But according to the videotapes, they talk. Yeah, but I thought they had an app for that. Whatever, child. Well, if they text at all, then why was this some big thing for him to ask her where she was going? They were making it seem like, see, you ain't supposed to contact her. But listen, this goddamn TV show, it's TV. We got to remember, okay? It's a produced TV show. Anyway, y'all, Melody, both start, you getting an alliance. Sit down and shut up. If your ultimate goal is to get rid of dude out of your space, you almost there. Meters, the last thing y'all want to do is start standing up for dude or feeling sorry for him. If y'all also want him away from y'all girl, and y'all also want him to go on, then y'all need to shut up and let this shit play out. That's just my advice, but y'all don't listen to me. All right. I told y'all they've been texting. That's why Martell was so confused about when to text. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Well, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. This is some bull. It's just entertainment. This is all to entertain us. That little show they did yesterday was their audition tape for Zeus. I want to see if it gets picked up. I think they've been talking to Princess Love and Ray J, trying to figure out what else can we do to get this money. And they were like, do a reel, do a pilot video of what y'all got to offer. It got to be real messy and salacious. And they did that. So y'all prayers up that Martell and Ariane get picked up on Zeus, that the executives receive their audition tape well. This is a T-Squad fight. We just observe it, instigating and laughing. Can we get Love Rocket City twice a week? You know what? I was thinking about that. I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to see, Ebony. I do not subscribe to Zeus. We are subscribed to Zeus, though, apparently. But anyway, I'm done with it. I just wanted to see if we can put some pieces together, and we can't. So I'm leaning on the credibility of the witness. The witness is uncredible. She cannot be used as a witness. And I don't care. And what happened to Love and Rocket City? It's up. You see chapter 1 and 2, right? Chapter 1 and 2 is up. I dropped them on Mondays for members and on Tuesdays for everybody else. Y'all go over to the Love and Rocket City page and take the poll, ask Trent some questions. That's where you get your fix in between episodes. I'm trying to figure out how to get y'all one twice a week. They may be shorter, but I'll try to get one. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Please give us a little more LEMH over the holiday. I'm on vacation until 1/13. In the meantime, I'm looking forward. See, y'all said that to me, that y'all want to see more. And y'all know that we're going to have a truce. Let's talk about it in the new year. The review. See, so Butterfly's supposed to be doing the reviews, but she's so thirsty about her birthday. We're going to have to see. Okay. But I appreciate y'all. Enjoy your families. Be safe. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. And I love y'all. Bye.